please, nice and loud, for Alex Garbowski.
Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you. This is my first time doing this, so I appreciate you. But what's next? Jokes, right? All right. I'm just joking. That was also a joke. All right. It's an honor. Thank you to be performing in front of Letterman. I got my Type 5 ready. All right. Anybody religious here? Got religious people? All right. This is gonna go great. I grew up in a religious household, and we weren't allowed to play with Pokemon cards because they were the devil. I think my mom just told us that because we were actually poor, and she didn't want to buy them, you know. Anything she didn't want to buy was the devil. But since we didn't have Pokemon cards, we had to get creative, you know, and we did live really close to a funeral parlor. So anytime there's a death, me and my brother, we'd go to the funeral parlor, and we'd collect the obituary cards they hand out when people die. Oh my God. And we would take these home and play with them like they were Pokemon cards. You know, like he'd throw down his 98-year-old Mary Macdonald, and I'd throw down my rookie card of 11-year-old Timmy with cancer. My card would beat his because I had like 10 plus radiation points. One time we were playing, and he threw down the obituary card of our grandma. And I threw down the obituary card of our grandpa. And he tried to tell me his card beat mine. I said, I watched them fight, and he beat the shit out of her. I win. I told this story once, and then afterwards this guy came up to me. He pulls out his son's obituary card. He goes, I didn't find that funny. My son died, you know? And I was like, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to say. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I would love to add that to my collection. He didn't find that funny either. Looks like there's some obituaries that might be happening soon here tonight. I do for free funerals. All right, just trading. Okay. Our game got so popular that we had like 20 kids in the neighborhood showing up to a grown man's funeral we didn't know. People were like, was this guy secretly a youth baseball coach or a friend of Epstein's? You know, what's going on? But, you know, Father Collins, who ran the funeral services, he caught on to what we were doing. He's like, all right, you kids, you could take the card, but you have to pray for their soul. You know, the prayer of the departed, you know. And as a kid, I just never got that. Because it's like you get 15 people to pray for you, and God lets you into heaven. And if you don't, you go to hell. Was God running a pyramid scheme or something, you know? They say all dogs go to heaven. Our dog died recently, and my mom goes, I know she's watching over us right now. I said the dog didn't even listen when it was alive. You think it's staying up there? What's wrong with you? Crazy woman. They say dogs pick up traits of their owners. Anybody have a dog? Yeah, notice that? If you like to exercise, your dog likes to exercise. If you have anxiety, your dog will have anxiety. I was watching Father Collins' dog. All that little fucker did was hum kids in the neighborhood. He called me up. He was like, hey, can you watch my dog? I'm going away. I call him back up. I'm like, hey, where are you going? And he was going to prison. Usually they just move them around like they're on world tour or something. But that was my Catholic side. My dad, you know, my dad was Catholic and he married a Jewish woman, right? It's like, what? You said you could tell by my nose? Jeez, that's fucked up, woman. I don't know what's this fucking anti-Semite out here. No, she didn't say that. All right. It was tough being like Jewish. You know, my mom sent me to a Jewish camp one summer, and it was tough to fit in, you know, because like I was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid, you know, and growing up, people always told me, I think Hitler would have liked you. Which I think is a crazy thing to say to a 6-year-old, you know, that the most evil man in the world would have liked you, you know. At a certain point, I started going, I think me and Hitler would have been friends, you know. And it's not that I agreed with his policies or anything, you know, I just didn't have any friends, so. But no, it was tough in it, you know, because at this Jewish camp, Jewish kids aren't really, like, known for being athletic, and, like, I could jump. Not even high, but I could jump. And they were like, oh my God, it's Super Jew. I was trying to fit in, you know, like hunch my shoulders, pretend I have asthma. It was like a reverse Nazi Germany. Occupying forces. But, you know, you guys know about this? The rabbis, they do the brisk. They brisk, yeah, they cut the they circumcise the Jewish babies, you know. And the really Orthodox rabbis will go as far as to lick the blood off of the baby's penis, yeah. So I'm getting my rabbi certification. Yeah. But it's, you know, it's just that mine was licked, and nowadays, you know, girls will try to, you know, give head, you know, it's never as good as your first time. I had a Muslim friend who wanted to convert to Judaism. He wanted the whole brisk party, you know, and I referred him to Rabbi, you know, my Rabbi Jaime, and I was like, just, you should know, he's a licker. He's like, that's fine, I want a licker, actually. And I was like, all right, your girlfriend's cool with that? He's like, yeah. Anyways, you know, we're at the party, the brisk, you know, because it has to be a party. And, you know, Rabbi, he brisks it, and then he doesn't lick it. And I was like, Rabbi, you licked the baby one, why didn't you lick that one? He's like, well, it's not kosher, really, I shouldn't, you know, he's an adult, it's not safe, you know. And I go, no, you lick the baby one, you have to lick this one, else he's not in the faith, you know. He's like, well, really, I don't need, you know. And I take the back of his head, I go, you lick that cock, Rabbi, you lick that fucking cock, Rabbi, you lick it! And that was the last brisk I went to. Anyways, driving. Who drove here? That's relatable, right? I had a car. I have a Jeep. Do you guys know about there's something called the Jeep Wave? Everyone with the Jeep waves to it? Yeah. Don't fucking wave to me. I don't know you, you know? Just because we have the same car, I could be waving to a racist or a pedophile or a Mormon, you know, I don't know you. And the last group of people to identify themselves with a wave, the Tesla drivers. Nazis. No, it's the only car that does it, right? You don't see everyone with a Ford Bronco doing the OJ stab as they pass it. God rest his soul. The Jeeps, they do the ducks too. They duck the car. They put little rubber ducks on. Don't put ducks on my car, you know? When the police pull me over, I don't want to be the guy with children's bath toys in his car, you know? The officer's like, would you care to explain that? It's a thing, you wouldn't get it. I don't know. It's like, you're right, I don't get pedophilia. All right. You're under arrest. But, you know, cars need gas. What's the deal with Wawa? Who let a baby name a gas station? All right. We're getting edgy here, sorry. It's a little too dark for you guys. Actually, you guys know what Uber is, right? That's a thing, right? Uber? You know what Uber is? Yeah. I was in Uber once, and the guy, he had these thick-rimmed glasses, right? Thicker than yours, right? I didn't think he could see anything, you know, but I needed to go. I got in the car, right? And we're driving past this field. And he looks out, he go, what them, buffalo? And I was like, the hay bales? And he go, boy, that's a herd of buffalo. And I was like, I thought he was trying to be funny or something. All right, herd of buffalo, right? We're driving. And he goes, look like a damn blood moon out tonight. And I never seen a blood moon. So I'm like, oh, you need to stop the car. Stop. And he's like, boy, I ain't changing my life for no damn blood moon voodoo stuff. Now I'm going to drive. And I go, no, stop the car, right? The car flips over because it was a red light. And we got T-boned. And he goes, them California earthquakes are something. I said, we're in Florida. All right. Last time I Ubered. Happened today, actually. No, anybody go to the gym? Gyms are popular. You look like a fit guy, right? No. You got that? Is that like one of the grabber ones or just a regular cane? Oh, I thought it had like the, you could tongs. All right. I'm just trying to be personable. I'm sorry. Anyways, at the gym, they got these shirts now. Everybody's got a shirt with a slogan, right? It says like, I'm strong, or I'm hard, or, My least favorite shirt is, nobody's here to save you, right? This guy had a shirt that said, nobody's here to save you. So when the barbell fell on his neck, he was looking around. I was like, read your shirt. It looked way too heavy to lift. Another thing with the shirts, they got the cutoffs, right? They got the cutoff shirts, and their nipples are hanging out. These men with breasts, they're breastfeeding the goddamn machines, right? Just put your nipples away. You're not a bodybuilder. This is an LA Fitness, Come on. But I'll be looking, and I make eye contact with his nipple, and he's looking at me, and I don't know what to do, so I show him my nipples. It's Mardi Gras, It beats me up, I saw this war hero in the gym once, and I knew he was a war hero because he was missing a leg. So, expecting to hear a cool war story, I went up to him, I said, how'd you lose your leg? He said, diabetes. I said, I don't remember that war, but thank you for your service. You see tattoos in the gym, right? Anybody have tattoos? I think tattoos are stupid. It's just that in most cases, you can get a T-shirt that says the same exact thing, Like I saw this guy with a Star Wars tattoo. And I love Star Wars as much as the next virgin. I just got a couple of T-shirts, But, gay people go to the gym. Gays are cool, right? Yeah. A lot of people in Florida aren't too happy with Pride Month, and I think what they should do is they should rebrand. They should stop spelling it, LGBTQ, and start saying it, Legibitiqua. Because Legibitiqua is a lot more fun to say, I'm not even gay, but I'd wear a fishnet crop top to say I'm part of Legibitiqua, right? Oh, I'd suck that. Alright, too far. But it's fun, Legibitiqua, it's fun. I moved in with my best friend, and afterwards, after we moved in, he came out as gay. I was like, oh, you bastard, because he knew I wouldn't have moved in with him before, not because he's gay or anything, but because he's gay. And so we got different lifestyles, like he brings home men, and I bring home no one, and it's just different, it's different, But when I moved in, my dad was like, you better watch out, that gay thing's gonna rub off on you. I was like, whoa, nobody's gay thing is rubbing off on anybody, right? All right. How are you doing? But I think it is rubbing off. I think I might be getting gayer. Every time someone says, get a load of this guy, I open my mouth. I also stroked the mic stand. I don't know if anybody knows. Yeah. Hey, eyes are up here. All right, come on. I'm nervous. Let's give it a quit. Get a load of this guy. Hey. Oh, man. Yeah. That's cool. All right. everybody work. You guys work. Yeah, working people. You guys notice at my job, this guy he smokes cigarettes. They give him 5-minute breaks throughout the day to smoke his cigarettes. I'm like, that's not fair. This other guy has a weed card. He gets half an hour breaks throughout the day to go smoke his weed, because it's medical. I was like, I got to get on this. So I started smoking fentanyl. It's been 3 months. That's how long my break is. I tell people, because I don't have any money, and people tell me, one guy was like, hey, you should be a model. And I was like, hey, what do you mean by that? Because models now are fat and disabled, which isn't a bad thing, right? It's just it's not really a compliment, and I also don't think it's the best marketing strategy, the first thing you see when you see someone with cerebral palsy is oh, where's the donate button? I don't want to hit that, not I'd look really good in those shoes, right? Alright. Alright, my bad. Alright. Can we go back 5 minutes? Anybody have a car? Alright. Jim Gibbs, women, talking to women's tough, right? Right? Yeah. Talking's tough for me, as you can tell. I don't do it much. Talking to women's stuff, I was set up on a blind date, and going into it, I thought I should have 2 excuses to get out of there, in case it goes really bad. And the 2 excuses I came up with were my sister's going into labor and my dog got hit by a bus. I thought these were both good excuses, could get me out of there fast, So we're 5 minutes into the date, and she's showing me pictures of her cat dressed up as the Jackson 5, I was like, I gotta get out of here. So I pretend to get a notification on my phone. I'm like, oh my God, my sister just got hit by a bus. I realized I fucked up, she starts crying, and I'm like, oh no, she knew my sister, I forgot. It's I'm like, no, my dog's going into labor, and she's like, well, why would you need to leave for that? And I'm like, oh, my back's against the wall. I'm like, well, because I might be the father. I don't think I am, but just in case, I should be there, The dog was on the bus, too. Dog was on the bus. Yeah. No, dating's hard, because sometimes a girl's so beautiful, that you'll make an excuse for anything she does, you know what I mean? Yeah, what's her excuse? No, I'm joking. I don't mean to put you in a tough spot. It's just a joke. Alright. The joke. No, I was on this first date, right? And I'm on the first date with the girl, and she goes, she said she needed to pick up her crack cocaine. And I wasn't like, I gotta get out of here. I was like, is that more like crack or more like cocaine, Because she was really pretty, we could work out a coke habit, right? A crack habit, we could still work it out. She was very pretty. Come to find out, crack cocaine is the same thing as crack. She was just trying to impress me with her large vocab. She was a stripper too. You guys get strip clubs? Strip clubs are weird to me. I don't really get it, because when they're coming up with the invention of a strip club, they had to have prostitution, right? So the guy who's coming up with it, John's Strip Club, he's like, hey, talking to his friend, he's like, hey, that prostitution thing we got? And his friend's like, yeah. He's like, what if we didn't have sex with them? Right? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah. You just watch them, right? It's like, I just watch? He's like, yeah. I go, I'm watching this girl alone. He goes, hold up. 10 other guys there. What? And he's like, I'm relieving myself, around 10 other guys. He goes, if you take your cock out of my establishment, you're fucking out of here, right? I go, wait, he goes, so I'm not supposed to get hard? It's like I'm not supposed to be aroused? He goes, no. You're supposed to be aroused. And he's like, we're all just aroused? Just here? Waiting? For what? If I go in my pants? Am I weird? He's like, yeah, you're weird. I was like, you just that the rest of the night, you know? He goes, how do I even pay him? You know? He goes, have you ever thrown money at someone? That's how you do it. He goes, is this classier than prostitution? And he's like, well, it depends on the neighborhood I put it in, you know? Yeah. It's up to you, however much you spend, you know? But, yeah, I tried to date, not strippers, but I tried to date, you know. And my last girlfriend, she was a big crazy. She was into, like, the rocks and the stars. What is that called? She was a preschooler. No, she was. Oh my God. I had to do a full 180. I went preschool, I went full 180. Right now I'm dating a girl who has a doctorate in psychology. Right? And we've known each other for an hour, right? And she looks at me and she says, I think you cover up things that hurt you with humor. I had to punch her in the face. I knocked her out. You know me for an hour and you figure that out? Alright, good. Whatever. Women. But, you know, I tried to go out. I was at a bar. And before I met her, actually. I was at a bar. I was talking to this girl, right? And things are going along well. You know, I was almost at the point where I'd put the roofie in. No, I don't have enough money for roofies. I had the Sleepy Time tea bag. Every time she looked away, I did. Don't roofie women. But I was talking to this girl, right? You know, we're getting along, and then this old guy, like 40. This 50-year-old, this goddamn 80-year-old comes out of nowhere, right? And he's like, this guy doesn't know how to have sex with you. This guy doesn't know how to treat a lady. And when someone insults you, and it's true, there's not much you can say besides like, hey, or nah. So he's like, this guy doesn't know how to have sex with you. I'm like, hey, Anyways, he starts flashing his money and buying her drinks, and he steals her from me. Gold digging bitch. But you know, I said I gotta get this guy back. And every guy in here knows the best way to get another guy back is to have sex with his mom. You said it. So I said I gotta have sex with this guy's mom, you know, so I find out who he is, you know, I'm doing all this hard work, and I find out who his mom is, you know, and I did it. I had sex with his mom. Come on. I gotta do the joke and laugh too, come on. But no, boy was it hard work. Does anyone know how hard it is to dig up a grave that's been buried for 15 years? She was dead. Did you
get a selfie?
Did I get a selfie? No, the obituary card was on the top. I took that, added. Thank you, everybody. That's been my time.
Keep it going for Alex. Alright, you ready for your headliner tonight? Alright, Prom Coast. He has a dry bar comedy special. He is currently on tour with Anthony Rodia. And next week he will be at the Venetian in Las Vegas. Nice and loud. He's already here. Goodbye.